Hi all, I'm Reshma, hailing from Kerala and currently resides in a small serene village of Kollam. I'm currently pursuing Masters in English Language and Literature at St. Cyril's College, Adoor. I co-authored books like Kitchen of Poetry with a Cup of Coffee, Connected by Heart, and Unsaid Feelings. Wordsworth once opined that poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful emotions recollected in tranquility. Thus, I penned my poems as reactive in subject, and for that I used subjective narration as to appeal my readers and instinct them to think. We know in the present scenario, our world wears the mask of love. True love can't be seen. We can't see cupids throwing arrows, but we can see jealousy-stricken winners poisoning hearts. We should conclude that it results in the murders which centers in love conflict. We know that Samuel Johnson once opined that the end of poetry is to instruct by pleasing. Thus, poetry should please us, instruct us, delight us, and inspire us. So, take my poem Love Today as a message. The poem Love Today. In search of love, I saw your lust, who hides the true face of love and life, who deceived the mankind with the pompous dreams, and you are the monster who spit acid on face, and you are the devil who killed marital notes, and you are the giant who deflowered buds, and you are the one who evacuated love. Thank you and have a nice day.
Miles apart, beyond the Prussian blue ocean, resides my bearded man. In his 70s, resting his spine on an armchair, contemplating the melancholic rain and sipping his vintage lemon tea. And I am melting in this distance. It was always a terse summer or a fleeting winter. Now should I lament for my early goodbyes? I'm counting the trees flashing by on a rare mirror, maybe to betray the ticking clock. Today, I realize that I am that cursed daughter. Like an adrift sailor, I stand still, witnessing his cold feet tied up in white. It is my curse that you are departing in this pandemic. With fear and fury the natives rebuked, and I still longed for a glimpse of his face. But the curse was resolute, and the natives were numb. I saw the priest with his cross pointed at me. I was the threat, the beholder of the virus. As a stranger, I saw a white cloaked body taken away, and my mother and brother accompanying a procession. Like a terrifying tale, all was said and done. The tale of the bearded man's funeral, where his cursed daughter was banished.
I am Shreya Venkatesan from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and I study in IISER, Thiruvananthapuram. I've been writing poetry since I was 6 years old, but I only switched to free verse maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So I write almost constantly about a variety of topics, anything that inspires me really. And before I go on to this poem, I'd like to give you a little bit of background. This was written the day we were asked to leave campus because of COVID-19 on March 14th. And on that day, we didn't really understand the seriousness or the fact that it was going to become so severe. And we were a little shocked by how quickly everything was taking place. So I've tried to capture the pace and that uncertainty in this poem, and I hope you like it. Change sweeps through the air, a firm gust of wind, carrying with it fear and anticipation in almost equal measure. News travels fast, the gossip grapevine is laden, hushed whispers. Classes cancelled. They're sending us home for 2 weeks. No way, it's gotta be more. each sentence shifting sentiments. Plans are spun out of thin air. This is not what we expected when they said college would have spur of the moment adventures. Farewells bid in quick breaths. Buildings grow emptier as the night spreads across the sky. In a swift swoop, life has been leached out. The end of the world came on a sunny afternoon, in between math and chemistry. Ripped from daydreams, our legs hit the ground running. Yet, rebel blood runs in our veins. We left behind ghosts of memories, stargazing.
Hello everyone, I'm Shwetha, a student of English Literature at Lady Doak College, Madurai, Tamil Nadu. The theme of my poem is to highlight the superlative of the unfathomable feeling of love. Love, in my perception, is the expression of the intention to being and becoming. Loving a person has manifold dimensions. Loving a person takes different dimensions when it is shown by different kinds of people. Here lies my depiction of the best form of love: being and becoming. She blushed gently as she opened her eyes. He stood before her with a bright red rose. Their eyes met. Hearts possessed. Love they say it is, of which I know not sure. Love they say it is, of which I know not sure. Love it is for sure when she holds you in her arms, close to her chest, as she feeds you with her breast, to silence your shrill cries. Love it is for sure when she smiles as you kick with tiny and soft toes. Tears well up in her eyes, watching you grow big. Love it is for sure when he carries you on his shoulders as well as in his heart. He guides you through the dark, molding you to become bolder. Love it is for sure when he pains himself with glee just to keep you smiling. He walks with you, guiding by his words and deeds. Of these I know, love it is for sure, love in its purest form. Of these I know, love it is for sure, love in its purest form. Thank you.
Some days I search for words among the waters and the woods to paint you, my marvel, who was fortune of my time travel. I wandered among those whites and blues. I wished to collect their lovely hues, those hues of nebules portrayed your warm love as Cyril's. I rushed along the rivers of life and found your essence of love of life. I swam across the Milky Way and found the light of your eyes all the way. The crescent, that curvy one, it resembled your smile, the precious one, and the amber rays remembered the warmth of lullaby in my slumber. I searched for words, but I found wonders of life and universe through your soul and your mind. I wish to paint you, my marvel, with hues of my love as you fill the cosmos with you and also me. Let me paint and smile for the one last time forever, and let me lay down peacefully in my eternity.
Hello everyone, this is Swastika Muduli from Odisha, India. Currently I am working as a lecturer in English in SBM Autonomous College, Jagatsinghpur, Odisha. The title of my poem is Pandemic Bliss. The poem is all about the ongoing current situation and also depicts about how an individual arouses himself as self-motivated and self-determined throughout the situation. Now I am going to recite my poem. Pandemic Bliss. Your unexpected welcome to Earth surprises one and all, overwhelms every moment, makes havoc in whole hearts. Never seen before this surrounding, ever full of your presence, numberless life you take, and try to strong your thorn here. Now you bound us to stay with you by compromising our wishes, but we take it as a blessing though, separate humans from their kith and kin. Your presence gives a bliss to stay safe and healthy. You learn to grow up with affection, as distance does not matter between us. You make us self-motivated, how to love one's own self, helps doing small daily goals, creates a big hope towards a new day. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Sayyid from Aurangabad, Maharashtra, and the poem I am going to recite is Two Shadows. In daylight, dark, a shadow creeps. In the darkest of dark, a shadow tugs me, shrugs me, resting my face on its shoulder. Me, a ship without rudder. Two shadows fall into actuality. Two shadows scream. Due dialogues and remarks, flowing persuasions and sparks. Perceptions turn dark green. Two shadows fall into disparity. Two shadows scream. Turbulence and yearning embarks. Eagerness never disembarks. Ease on each to gratify. Two eyes fall into similarity. Two shadows scream. So, this is Sayyid Ali signing off. See you once again later. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, I am Amia. I am doing my Masters in English Language and Literature at the Institute of English, University of Kerala, Trivandrum. As part of AIFEST poetry competition, I wrote a poem on the topic The Pandemic, and the title of my poem is Stolen Glimpses from Around. This poem is a long narrative which I have divided into 5 stanzas, each stanza consisting of 14 lines and of different perspectives. So moving on to the poem, Stolen Glimpses from Around. Out in the street, I see none. A soul to chatter and have fun. Here inside, I feel I am done. Nothing reviving under the sun. Sometimes, people with masks, 1 or 2, walk across the road, nervous too. Chatter in distance, not loud though. Under the sky, serene and blue. Mask, one on the face, the other unseen. Even people too close act so mean. Piercing looks from behind the screen. Is it because I am in quarantine? Papa comes late, I wonder why. His mumbling ends with a long sigh. Mama too sad, does she cry? Not going to make my yummy pie? These days, they quarrel often about this and that. Usually ends in rough combat. I understand little, they say. Hat, mat, no job, no food, what? I'm sad. Don't have anyone to play around. In video games, I think I'm drowned. For so long have I touched the ground. So long have I laughed aloud. Computer screen, breathe me in. Exhausted I am, want some gin. Work from home, make me thin. Spare no time to call my kin. Busy? Yes, I am. Who understands? Check the list, throw the plans. Orders the bowls and clears the stands. So I sit home and toil for the brands. Fool, don't you know? No one leaves job. Someone is chiding my soul. At this time it's hard for the mob, but don't let go, cried the snow. It's been a month in the hospital. Away from home, my boy so little. Nursing people, they say I'm metal. Take the medicine, water's in the kettle. Love, now I have from many unknown. Are you in red or green zone? Do take care or you are prone. Words are loud, viral in the phone. Respect. Show me by following the rule. Don't break it like a kid in the school. Put out the lamp and let it cool. Don't bang the plate, it's a tool. My body, it's growing again. Don't worry, it's not a tumor in brain. Seems like something healing so fine. Air is soothing clean. Now you don't need to fail. Fireflies and wasps plan and murmur. Butterflies flutter in bright armor. Spider has no lockdown, is now a busy weaver. Earthworm, again a diligent farmer. Ozone, they say it's working at last, as no humans wander in the vast. All caged in homes aghast. Green is getting painted so fast. Thank you.
Hello friends, I'm Tanisha. I belong from Khargoon and I'm studying in Jagran Like City University, Bhopal. I'm going to recite a poem. It is about your and my shades of love. So let's begin. What is love? Love is blind. Love is divine. It makes our soul pure and kind. Love is now seen by our eyes, but always felt by our hearts. Love is in that beautiful feeling when baby kicks in mother's belly and she just keeps smiling. Love is immortal. There will be no total. It is not calculative. It is a feeling where there is no bargaining. Love is not a bond to bind, but it provides us a sky for flying. Love is not mean to show, but it always demands to grow. Love is in bickering of couples. It is in the jealousy and anger for each other. Love is in tears if tears are for our dears. Love is in pain if it helps to make someone something gain. Love is not only about the relationship of man and women, but it is about connections. Whether it is a thing or a heart, whether it is animal or we human, whether we love nature or creature. Love is selfless, love is in kindness, love is madness, and love is helpfulness. Love is here, there and everywhere. Just need to feel there and to take care. Love is giving and gaining, sometimes sacrificing too. Love is within you, don't be shy to love you. Love is the essence which spreads everywhere, just like the air. Love yourself, love others. It is the universal language felt and understandable by all of us. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Tuhina Roy from Thane, Maharashtra. I study in St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. The reason why I like to read and write poetries is because poetries compel you to look within yourself. It changes your perspective. And even though you go through a traumatic experience you wish you hadn't gone through, this changes your perspective because once you start knowing things better, you start understanding yourself better, you start seeing things differently. So, the poem that I'm going to recite today is called I Wish to Recreate. This was an attempt to see things differently after a traumatic experience that I've gone through. And since it's the end of the pandemic and it coming of Christmas, I wish to see things differently. I wish to recreate my life in a beautiful manner, and I hope it's the same for you. Thank you.
I wish to recreate. In the end of the story, I wish to recreate. To tell that it'll be different this time. The sky will be red and not blue, and there'll be more wilderness than true. It leaves me wanting more than ever. I scurry away, dissatisfied and heavier, not wishing to end this year, 'cause in the end of the story, I wish to recreate. Let it be YROTS or OTRSRY, anything but linear and not what it was supposed to be. Perhaps unpredictability is a joy, 'cause in the end of the story, I wish to recreate. Dreams are free, it always was and will be. Let them be seen by every being. Burn the flesh with passion and catastrophe. Because in the end of the story, I wish to recreate. Tranquility is for the childlike, we are not. Our dreams are strange and filled in chaos, never to be touched, like it's to be numbed. Because in the end of the story, I just wish to recreate.
Shades of love. The heat of passion alone does not importance to love denote. Meek love can withstand the test of time as well. The love of a man does his character display. The meek love meekly while the strong love strong. Often, however, time does favor the patience of the meek. And when the death knell tolls, all shades of love will their glory find. By Upanishad S.
Hi friends, poetry lovers and all the wonderful people listening to this video. I am Wahida Khan, a native of Karwar, which is a beautiful city just 7 kilometers from the Goa border in the state of Karnataka. I teach the MA English students at the PG Center Karwar under the Karnataka University. Karwar, if I talk about it, was termed as South Kashmir by none other than Tagore when he once visited this port town in his early youth. It is the site of estuary where the Kali River meets the Arabian Sea. We also boast this city to be projected for the INS Kadamba naval base, which is supposed to be the largest in Asia in the coming years. This port city is located at the foot of the Western Ghats and the beach is of course named after Tagore. The college where I teach lies on the National Highway 17, which is at the edge of the Arabian Sea. The panoramic view I get to see every day on the way to work never fails to soothe my soul and bring a smile to my lips, no matter how depressed or sad I am with the usual grind of human lives. The sunset at our beach can make your heart to soar to its sublimity no matter how many times you watch it. About me, in short, apart from being a mother of 2 kids and a bookworm, my passions are writing, especially poetry and teaching. I started writing during my early teens and today I can gladly say that I have published my poems, articles and essays in many journals and also have published a book of poems titled Frozen Smolders, which is available on Amazon as well. I usually write with my pen name Soulful Heart. My usual style of poetry is free verse and I can never bind myself to any particular genre or theme. I have written poetry on themes ranging from flowers, monsoons, motherhood, resilience of women to the ironies of life, death and human emotions in its darkest and brightest phases. My favorite poets are first and foremost Emily Dickinson, then Sarojini Naidu, Langston Hughes, John Keats and many more. Though basically I write in English, I also like to express my thoughts in my mother tongue, Urdu, because I feel Urdu to be a language for poetry or shairi. In fact, the beauty of our Indian languages cannot be compared to any words in English. The intricate nuances of feelings and thoughts can be expressed best and more poignantly in our regional languages only. I'm sure everybody may not agree with me, but I believe that a person can express in the best possible words only in his or her mother tongue. So even though I have studied English medium and I teach English literature, I have been teaching since many years and also write mostly in English, yet I still feel I can minutely and more accurately deliver my thoughts better in my mother tongue. I'm sure many will agree as well with me. Well, dear listeners, coming to my poem, first of all, I feel privileged to be among all the much better and amazing writers. My poem is on one of the given themes, Shades of Love. The title of my poem is Palette of Love, where palette is the board that a painter holds to mix all the colors with which he or she creates a painting. We all know that love is one of the most simplest as well as the most complicated emotions of humankind. I hope you all can relate to the thoughts I have tried to express through my humble words. So here's the poem. If one tries to paint love, wonder what hues its palette will hold. If one tries to paint love, wonder what hues its palette will hold. Maybe some mighty edges of white, of selfless purity and everlasting bond, for humble devotion and indulgent motherhood. Some mighty edges of white amid thick strokes of scarlet, of intense passions and ardent youth for sensuous desires and carnal needs. So friends, the purest love is of motherhood and devotion to the Almighty. White is the symbolic color of purity, which is the best and foremost shade of love that can bind the entire canvas if it wants to. Scarlet is the symbolic color of strong passions, which is typical of youthful love and mostly physical in its expression. Then, few helpless smudges of yellow, of desperate clinging and fickle moods for poaching maids and caging ambitions. Even many wonderful spots of pink, of fresh attractions and tender responses for innocent wishes and poignant hopes. Yellow is the symbolic color of disability. We must know that we have a yellow day dedicated to the disabled people, both physically and mentally. So one of the aspects of love is the mental instability and insecurity that makes a person in love to be abnormally obsessed and try to cage their partner, either physically, emotionally or psychologically. Most of the time they even try to snatch away others' mates due to their pervert ambition. Pink, on the other hand, is for the first blush and the fresh love and attractions of the early teens along with their innocent dreams and hopes. Back to the poem. Some ugly splotches of mossy green, of impulsive jealousy and insecure envy, for blind rages and violent suspicions, or even clumsy sprays of purple, of choking tears and snatched smiles, for poisoning words and sliced hearts. Green is the symbolic color of envy and jealousy, which is the flip side of love that can be very lethal in some cases. Purple, I feel, depicts sadness and tears without which one can never expect to truly understand or to know the feeling of deep love. Also, few rare sparkles of blue, of fulfilled dreams and soulful lives for ageless emotions and transcending affections. Blue is for royalty, the sublime love of soulmates that transcends every boundary of this earth and even death sometimes. And lo, the canvas it creates, may never cease to baffle and amaze. For love may help tame some while others go berserk. Can tenderly build a nest or destroy empires to doom. History proves that love can make a home but also can destroy empires and kingdoms. The famous lines of Dr. Faustus come to my mind here, depicting the reason of the epic Trojan War. Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships and burned the topless towers of Ilium? May help tame some while others go berserk, can tenderly build a nest or destroy empires to doom, may gush out even of a rocky heart while turn to ice the tender spring of other. May gush out even of a rocky heart while turn to ice the tender spring of other. The palette of love so holds all these and more. The palette of love so holds all these and more and stops never, painting itself in fresh blends and new shades till eternity and beyond. Till eternity and beyond, if one tries to paint love, wonder what hues its palette will hold. Well, hope you all have enjoyed the poem. Let me wind up, not before thanking all the organizers and judges of this literary fest and competition for giving me the chance to express my thoughts on this platform, which frankly speaking is the first time ever. So I must also mention my students who helped me a lot to make this video possible. Thank you so much, students. So have a great time, dear listeners, and congratulations to all my co-writers here with lots of best wishes. Bye, ciao, namaste, Allah Hafiz.